Welcome to the Grok's Life Podcast. I'm your host, Haley Morris, a certified primal health coach and holistic life coach. This show is the place to be if you seek the truth and are ready to take charge of your own health and lifestyle. You can locate our disclaimer on grokslife.com. Hey guys, today we have a really cool guy on today named Mark, and he is the owner and operator of Fermenti Artisan, which you can find at fermentiartisan.com. So he's on as our guest today, and what he's going to be talking about is a little bit about his product. It's a great product. We have it here at home, so I wanted to share that product with you guys, and hopefully you'll check him out and support him. He's located out of Indianapolis, Indiana, and he's hoping to spread out to Ohio and other areas around. So keep an eye out for him, Fermenti Artisan, and check him out at fermentiartisan.com.
Sure. Okay, cool. So how about you start about talking about how you got Fermenti Artisan up and running and what inspired that?
Well, it was, Fermenti's been around for 10 years, so it started, 7 years, started in 2010. Just kind of grew out of a natural progression to find something more, I guess. It's kind of what I was looking for. I've been in the restaurant business since I was 15 years old. So it's kind of, as I've gone through restaurants and gotten to food more and more and more, I just found this connection to local food. And that eventually grew into this connection to the next step of local food, which is local probiotics and nutrient-dense foods that are healing. So that's kind of the natural progression that got you here. I had a garden, and I had a lot of produce that came out of my garden the first year, and I started fermenting and realized that I could share this magical condiment with more people other than just friends and family. So backyard garden turned into a small business, turned into a small farm, turned into a bunch of work at farmers markets, and here we are, 7 years later, still producing a really tasty nutrient-dense probiotic.
Awesome. That sounds cool. Did you guys stay in Indy, or were you somewhere else prior to?
Well, this all started here in Indianapolis. For the last almost 3 years, though, I've lived in California.
Oh, wow.
The business was still here in Indiana, and it was going forward. We were looking at expansion in California and decided to kind of reel that back and just focus here on Indiana and the region and 1 or 2 states away from us and go from there. So
are you traveling back and forth from California to Indiana?
Nope, I live here now.
Okay.
I live here once again.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay. Okay, cool. And I know that you guys deliver to, I think it's Force Barbell Gym.
Deliver where?
To Force Barbell Gym.
Oh, yeah. Up in Fisher?
Yes. Brittany usually does podcasts on here, so we had mentioned you before. I had heard that you guys are trying to expand. Are you trying to expand outside of Indiana, or are you just focusing here in Indiana?
If we could, I'm at a point with this business that we have to go wherever people want it.
Right.
I've tried to ship to people's homes, which didn't work out so favorably because of the volatility of our product being raw and alive and a chilled product. It just doesn't travel well by mail. And we're trying to figure out how to get closer to people's homes to give people access to something that I just assumed existed everywhere, and it doesn't.
Right, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty hard to find unless it's, like in a health food market or something. So,
yeah, which is very strange, because it's just a condiment.
Right. Yeah.
That's it, and it's something that has been in people's diets for thousands of years out of necessity, and I don't think people really realize, the benefit, the complete benefit of the microbiotic life and stuff that's in the cultured foods until recently. Science kind of caught up with tradition, and it's like, wait a minute, here's what's going on here.
Yeah.
And
can you explain those benefits a little bit to the listeners?
Yeah, I mean, it's all about gut health. So the easiest equation that most people understand is composting.
Mm-hmm.
When you compost food in your backyard that's all, scraps and waste, it turns into this beautiful living organism that then feeds your soil, which then becomes, your future produce or, your grass or whatever you use to, your compost to fertilize with. It's the same as your body. Your body breaks down foods into what would essentially become compost in your body, and it squeezes all those nutrients and all the benefits out that make all of your bodily functions possible. So what we do is we culture foods specifically to get bacteria strains in there that help aid in digestion, help you aid in your immune system, help aid you with just your bodily functions that you normally have on a daily basis that you don't even think about.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, it completely helps break down our food to release those nutrients and minerals, and it also helps heal the guts with those probiotics. And I like to combine my fermented food with like raw honey in the morning, so to get that prebiotic that kind of helps set up your gut for that probiotic too. So we really like your fermented food. My husband Zach Morris, of course. So he brought a bunch of it home. I think that you gave him a bunch of samples, and we love it. So we'll definitely be buying from you in the near future because I think we're getting pretty low. We eat it pretty often.
We'll appreciate it.
Yeah, it's really good. So how can people get a hold of you to get your product? Are you looking, if somebody contacted you outside of Indiana, can this be shipped to them? Are you able to figure out a way to do that, or?
Well, not by mail. What we're trying to do is reach out to anybody who's, a state away that has any sort of connections with either distribution or their local store manager and say, hey, these guys make a really awesome product. Can you get this here? I want it.
Right.
It's kind of the direction that we're going, just to give people as much access as close to them as we can. We have a website, which is fermentiartisan.com. And there's an interactive map on there, and it shows, a decent amount of the places that our products are sold. Most of them are here in central Indiana, but there are a couple places up in northern Indiana, a couple Whole Foods that carry our things,
nice.
A couple places down in Louisville, Kentucky.
Nice.
And we're trying to creep towards Ohio now, so it's a work in progress. But yes, we are trying to get more people access to our food via distribution. We also have a place in the Indianapolis City Market, which is open Monday through Friday, 10 to 2, approximately, that we sell direct. So you can always stop through and see us and sample all of our products. And we do sales directly to people also. But shipping does not work with our product. It is not it's not a product that's made to be shipped in the mail necessarily, which is why we're kind of trying to focus on stores.
Okay.
It's easier to ship on a refrigerated truck to a place with a refrigerator and let people go purchase it there closer to their home. And
Right. Yeah, that makes more sense, and especially because if you look at for things like sauerkraut and those things on the actual just food shelf in Kroger or something, that's all killed off live bacteria. So that's the difference between Fermenti Artisan and just some random sauerkraut on a shelf. So that's really awesome. Yeah.
That's exactly what we're going for, is that, we're an artisan product, but we want to be approachable by people, and we want people to understand it's just food.
Right. Yeah.
That's been the hardest battle since we started this business, is we used to do farmers markets, and the, thing that we noticed with our product is just the complete disconnect from people and their food source.
Yeah.
Which is really scary. Oh, yeah,
it's definitely scary. They think it's creepy because my mom makes a little bit of fermented food, and we used to take it to market, and the people just literally, they just thought it was super creepy, I don't know, I don't know if I'd like that. That sounds weird, and I think just explaining it as a gut bacteria for your health, I think that just, turns people away. But really, we need it for optimal health and nutrition. So,
Absolutely. You know, and the scary part about now is that a lot of people don't really get probiotic fast breastfeeding with their mother.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, in today's society, that's a really unfortunate thing, including myself. I mean, I grew up on what is referred to as commercially sterile food.
Right.
That's the term that's used by the grocery store industry for the food that they sell, you know, and it's just what we've all been sold and what most of us have eaten, and people don't understand the benefit of literally one forkful of a condiment along with their food.
Right.
Yes, we eat ketchup with everything.
Yeah, no kidding. And I'm sure you could make fermented ketchup of some sort. But
you can. We have a friend that does that.
Oh,
they
cool.
do a really good job with it. Mm-hmm.
Cool, but I appreciate it.
Awesome.
Appreciate
you. If there's anything else you need, just give me a shout. Appreciate you.
I will. Thank you. Bye.
Have a good day.
And now it's time to thank our sponsors. If you're truly into health, you want to seek out the people producing living food the right ways. Here in Rossville, Indiana at Silverthorne Farm, Nate and Emily produce the highest quality produce seasonally and supply this amazing produce to restaurants and members of their CSA. If you're in Indiana, check them out and support them by visiting their website, www.silverthorne-farm.com. Are you sick of supporting people that don't know what's going on in the world? Gina Martin Realtor is a realtor that knows what's going on, and she can get your house listed and get it sold. So check out GinaMartinRealtor.com to see more. Have you ever heard of Ezra's Enlightened Cafe? If you haven't, you need to go check it out. It's on Ferguson Street in Broad Ripple, Indy. It is full of nourishing food for your mind, body, and soul. Thanks for listening to the Grok's Life podcast. Check me out at grokslife.com and click services to see if any apply to you today.